Hey guys, this is Andrew, and I'm coming to you with a review from my living room gym. Today we're going to be looking at the Body Solid R300 Endurance Rower. And when I got this rower, I got it through a fitness store that I found out about through Facebook Marketplace when I was looking for gym equipment. Ironically, it led me to a nearby fitness store, and I gotta tell you, the stuff you would find there is not something you would typically find at your nearest Walmart or any other store, and I was impressed by it. And when I got this R300 rower, I got the chance to test it before buying it. So when I tested it, I was pretty sure I knew I wanted to get this because it was also in the it was also in winter when I bought this. So knowing that I was going to get snowed in, I needed to have some cardio equipment for my gym. So I got this, and I'm glad I even got to try this out. I said it a few minutes ago, or less than a minute ago. And I'm just emphasizing it. It's good to try before you buy. So when I got this rower, I knew what I was gonna be getting. So I chose that, and I didn't get another rower till a few months later. When I got the Concept2. So I have a little bit of a reference point on comparison between this rower and the Concept2, which you'll find out in a later time in this video review. So without further ado, let's get started with the review of the Body Solid Endurance R300 rower. And as you can see with how I was using this, the way this is designed compared to many budget rowers out there, and by budget rowers I mean the rowers that are pretty much the type that aren't as expensive as the higher end brands, as you pretty much know which ones I'm talking about, like the Concept2 and others. But with the way this is designed, you pretty much are able to get proper rowing form in a way that you would get on many high-end rowers. So it leaves very little to no excuse for not being able to get proper rowing form. So it's definitely good if you're a very savvy rower who wants to get a good rowing workout and learn how to use proper form. Another thing you must know about it is its storage option right here. You're able to separate this rower into two parts for easy storage. So if you have a low ceiling like me, as in your ceiling isn't any more than, let's say, 96 inches, 8 feet, then you should be fine being able to store it, but you're just not going to be able to store it as high as you would want it in one piece, that is, because this rower is around 95 inches long and 40 inches tall and around and almost 3 feet wide, like close to 3 feet, or yeah, somewhere between 2 or 3 feet. I need to go look up the specs. If you know, then put it in the comments section right here. So yeah, those are just a few points right here. So how does this rower compare to a high-end rower like, you know, the Concept2? Well, I would say that it's close, but not exactly. It doesn't have the Bluetooth capabilities of a Concept2 or the ability to, and it's not compatible with anything that is compatible with the Concept2. By this I mean you're not going to be able to log what you have with the Row app for the Concept2, and for what I know, Body Solid doesn't have an equivalent app for it, even for this product. So you're not really going to get real far in terms of having the Bluetooth capabilities or logging in with this. So, but that's just it. And another thing I gotta compare this with the Concept2 is that its weight capacity and its overall weight. This rower is around 81 pounds, while the Concept2 is 57 pounds. So you definitely get a heavier rower on this compared to the Concept2. And the weight capacity on this rower, however, is around 330 pounds, whereas the Concept2 is 500 pounds. So there's definitely a lower weight capacity on this, but as long as you're under 330 pounds, which most of the population is, so if you're under 330 pounds, you're gonna be just fine on this rower. Or I mean, it may not have the confidence inducing weight capacity that the Concept2 has, but because many people are under 330 or even 300 pounds, I think anyone will be just fine on this. Plus, it's solid enough to where it can be able to go without rattling too much, even when you're like 300 pounds. You're not gonna, as long as you don't exceed the 330 pound, it's not to sound like a broken record, you'll be just fine on this. So yeah. And there's one more thing I got to mention right here. I forgot to mention the seat of this rower. I did mention the railing, but forgot the seat. The seat, however, the seat is pretty much what you would get in many rowers like this, including the Concept2. And what I mean is that you probably don't want to be on here for an extended time because it's firm, but it's firm to where you don't want to be sitting on it for a very long period of time. So if you were to get this and the Concept2, especially as somebody who has a Concept2 and has used that, you're not going to get any difference between the two for the seat of it. Some of you might even need a cushion for it, but that's just it. So yeah, guys, and click the link in the description for how you can get it. There's an affiliate link in there if you're interested, and you can find it and you'll be able to find where to buy this. So how do I feel about the body solid endurance R300 rower? Well, I think we all know. How does it compare to a rower like the Concept2? Well, I don't think I can say much that hasn't already been said about the Concept2. This has been a review of the Endurance R300 rower from Body Solid, and I hope this has helped you guys out and has answered a few questions. So yeah, like I said, good rower, may not have all of the Bluetooth heart rate monitoring that the Concept2 has, and it may not have, and it may have a bit of a smaller weight capacity compared to the Concept2 and a heavier weight overall, but it's still a very good rower to where, so if I were to choose between the Concept2 and the Body Solid rower right here, well, man, the Concept2 is the gold standard of rowers. So I wouldn't have any problem saying that the Concept2 would be a much better rower overall, but I would say that if the Concept2 weren't a thing, I would say that this is a pretty good rower to buy in and of itself. And I would say that I would be almost upset to give this up, so that way the Concept2 would be the only rower I would have. And that's saying a lot, because that just says how well designed and built this rower is, the Body Solid rower is. And I gotta give props to Body Solid for making a good one, to where I would almost be upset to give this away. But I would definitely recommend this rower to a friend who may not care for the Bluetooth technology, but just wants a solid rower overall. And I would even recommend this for a commercial gym setting that may not allow Bluetooth technology to come into the woodwork of the rowing, but you just need a good rower overall. So yeah, this is a good rower. So if you have any concerns, questions, please put them in the comments. Do you like the review or not? And if there's anything you would like me to address about the rower, you can put your questions down in the comment section, and I'll be sure to answer any questions to the best of my ability and knowledge. So take care, and thank you all for watching. See ya.